Gibson made a vintage reissue of a guitar that never existed? Well, the answer to that question is yes. Today we check out a 2011 Gibson Custom Shop HotMod Goldtop 55 reissue. This guitar is a vintage reissue of a guitar that never existed. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley, and today we're checking out a pretty awesome run from the Gibson Custom Shop. As I mentioned in the title of this video, this is made from 2011, and it's basically an interesting concept from the minds at the Gibson Custom Shop. It's basically made to simulate if someone had ordered a modded guitar in 1955. But to our knowledge, this guitar never existed in 1955, and it's basically just a modern interpretation of a 55 reissue. So it is a very special and rare run indeed. So without further ado, let's go to the Spec Talk and see what this guitar is all about. So now it's time for the Spec Talk. We're going to run down all the specs of this beautiful 2011 Gibson 55 HotMod Goldtop. The idea of the 55 exclusive series was to celebrate Gibson's year of innovation, imitating pre-57 Les Pauls if they had been modified in this era to emulate features of later 50s Les Pauls. So what that means basically is that we have a 55 reissue base model, but we have modified specs like a wraparound tailpiece, we have the burst bucker pickups, but then we have the baseline model how it should be. So obviously construction is how you'd imagine it, long neck tenon, vintage frets, celluloid inlays, all that type of stuff. So essentially this is recreating a guitar that never existed. Obviously we didn't have a 55 reissue guitar with PAFs and a stop wraparound tailpiece. This would have had the ABR1 bridge and the stop tailpiece and P90s. So this is kind of like a modern interpretation of a 55. You might be asking why have they gone for a 55 and not a 54? Obviously the 55 has a slightly different neck carve. This has a nice kind of rounded shape, a little bit thinner than the 54. So this really is a cool concept. So let's break down the specs. So we have a one-piece mahogany body. We've got a natural finish over that. It looks very, very nice. Has a very kind of modern, thick nitrocellulose lacquer that they were using in this era. This was 2011. So you get the kind of old school medallions at the back there. We then have a carved maple top with a very bronzy gold top. It's not a very bright gold top. This is a bit more of a bronze gold top. You see kind of different colors of gold top. Sometimes they're a little bit more yellow and sometimes they're a little bit more bronze like this one. It looks very regal. We have two burst bucker pickups. We have a wrapped tailpiece, three-way switch, 2 volumes, 2 tones with the lamp-shaped knobs. Moving on to the neck, we have the 55 profile, as I just mentioned, with the mahogany neck. We then have a rosewood fingerboard with celluloid inlays and cream binding, nylon nuts, and then moving on to the headstock, we kind of get the classic kind of Gibson look. Obviously here at Squealing Pig Guitars, I play custom shop guitars every single day, and I have to say, when you play between different periods of time, so from 2011 to 2021 for example, these guitars feel majorly different. I'd say that this one feels more glossy, more plasticky in comparison to a modern Gibson Custom Shop reissue. Still made to the exact same specs and it's still very well made. It's just the finish feels a little bit more thick, I guess, whereas a VOS now would feel a little bit thinner. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments why that is. I'm not too sure. I imagine this finish is very similar. One thing I'm also noticing that these frets are a little bit wider than the vintage reissue ones that Gibson are doing now. But other than that, it's a really cool kind of exclusive custom shop model, and I think this is really what a custom shop should be about. not just recreating what once was, but also creating new models that have a unique look. And I really like this unique look of the humbuckers with the wrap tailpiece. Really reminds me of some of the Music Zoo exclusives that they were doing for the Made to Measure program. But yeah, that's pretty much all the specs of this amazing 55 HotMod Goldtop. So without further ado, let's get the 2-Rock warmed up and get shredding. So guys, welcome to the tone demonstration. For today's episode, I'm plugged into my 2-Rock Bloomfield drive as always, and I've got it mic'd with just one condenser microphone. This is the Audio Technica condenser microphone. On the floor, I've got some Kemper effects, so I'm running a tube screamer, a compressor, and a tremolo pedal for this tone, and then it's just the tank in the 2-Rock that you're hearing for the reverb. So let's hear them chords that I played initially. It was a cover of Delilah by Marcus King. I'm really into his music at the moment, and especially that kind of PAF bridge pickup tone. I thought it really suited this wraparound tailpiece. So let's hear them chords again, but I'm going to faff about with the pickup selection so you can hear the different tones that you can get from this guitar. Position. Back to bridge. So for that tone, as I said, I've got a tube screamer and a tremolo pedal on. If I take them two pedals off, this is just the raw tone of the 2-Rock, now playing with a pick. So far, there's so much tonal versatility in this Goldtop, and I love the quirky spec how we have the stop tailpiece wrap around, but with the kind of custom buckets. It's a really cool kind of mix of specs. Obviously, it's a 55 reissue. It's so clean, it looks amazing, and it plays amazing as well. Real nice low action, real nice intonation so far. So let's carry on and play some more Neo Soul. pick up a bit of gain. Loving the sound of this guitar so far. That loop, I really enjoyed myself there, as you probably could tell. But so far, that distortion tone is just the tube screamer on the floor. So I'm now going to actually switch over the 2-Rock to its gain channel and see what the high gain tones sound like on this Goldtop. So putting on the lead channel, let's just hear the break. Finish off the episode, let's play some fuzz tones. now that we've gone over the tones of this Goldtop, let's go to the end of the video where I give you my personal review and rating of this beautiful guitar. So guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you've really enjoyed checking out this video, but before I get into my personal review and rating of this guitar, make sure to go down on this video and hit the subscribe button. This really helps us increase engagement on these videos, which means bigger and better guitar videos for you. So make sure to hit subscribe and smash the notification bell to be notified when we make a new post. Whilst you're down there, make sure to leave your comments down below. I'm really intrigued to hear what you guys think of this Gibson HotMod Goldtop. In today's video, I'm going to rate this guitar a 9 out of 10. This Goldtop absolutely screamed. It played amazingly, had an incredible intonation, and had a really nice low action. I'm a big fan of the kind of fairy tale specs of this, that the fact that this is a 55 reissue, yet these specs never came on a 55 reissue. It has that kind of modded custom shop vibe, which I think all custom shops should be doing. As I said earlier in the video, it's important that custom shops not only do vintage recreations, but they also do one-off models that are special, just like this guitar, that are a little bit different from your vintage examples. Obviously, in this day and age, we do that all the time within the custom shop, but back in 2011, this was quite the rarity. This makes this guitar even more rare, as obviously it's a 2011 with custom specs. The pickups in this guitar sounded incredible. These are the burst bucker, which was kind of the period correct PAF clone. But this guitar just sounded amazing. It had a little bit of a thicker finish than I'm used to on the kind of modern Gibson custom shop recreations. But yeah, this guitar just had an incredible tone. I'm a big fan of the Goldtop finish as well. It had a bit more of a bronze hue than a yellow hue, which I'm always a big fan of, and it played like a dream. If you're looking for something a little bit different from a Goldtop, I'd really recommend checking one of these out. It's a really cool collector's item as well as an awesome instrument. So yeah, in today's episode, I'm rating this guitar a 9 out of 10, which is a very high score, but it definitely deserves it. But most importantly, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this Gibson HotMod Goldtop? Do you like it or do you not? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know if you own any Gibson Goldtops. I'm really intrigued to hear about your guys' collection. But that is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley, and that leaves me with one last thing to say. Keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.